So as you stretch out on your back, take your arms at your sides with your palms face up. Let your feet flop open. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then open your mouth and exhale out the mouth. Just let out a sigh. Try that again. Take a very deep breath in. And then just sigh out your day. Now breathing in and out through your nose. Just slow down your breath. And feel your body weight just surrender down into your mat as you're breathing deeply, calmly. Feel yourself shifting gears mentally. And what's super sweet is that if you'd like to, you could return to this Shavasana, this resting, lying on your back anytime throughout this next hour. Anytime that you really just want to slow it down, take it a little easier, and you just come back here. So keeping your eyes closed, draw your knees in towards your chest. And as you bring your knees in towards your chest, we'll take supine pigeon pose. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh, flexing your right foot. Thread your right hand through the space between your legs. And then as you interlace your hands behind your left thigh, press your low back down, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. Be mindful to let your head rest heavy on the mat. Relax your shoulders and jaw. And maybe even imagine as you breathe in, you can breathe all the way down into the hips and glutes. As you exhale out, just sweep out some of the tension. You may want to begin Ujjayi breathing, making your breath audible, sounding like ocean waves. And let's switch to the other side. So you'll cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Flex your left foot, slide the hand through, and then just ease into this side. Take some deep breaths. So a nice gauge for your practice is your breath. Even when your mind and your ego is like, go for it, push harder, put your leg behind your head, you can do it, right? Your breath is actually never gonna lie to you, right? Sometimes your ego will egg you on and want you to go way too far, way too deep. But tune into your breath and note the quality of your breath means I can go deeper, I can explore more. Or the absence of your breath is an opportunity to just adjust a little. You know, maybe edit your pose or back out of the pose completely. And then go ahead and release this side. Draw your knees into your chest. Take your arms out like a capital T. And we'll take a twisted root. Cross your right knee over the top of your left thigh. And then drop your knees to the left side of your mat. Let them rest down. Let the feet rest down. If you can, keep your right shoulder and right arm heavy on the mat. Just beginning on our back so that we can kind of ground ourselves. That we can get our minds to slow down a little bit, become more present, and become more prepared for our yoga practice. Then come back up to the center. Cross left knee over right. Drop the knees to the right side of your mat. Both shoulders on the mat, both arms resting. You could gaze simply up to the ceiling. Maybe close your eyes, relax your jaw. And when you come back up to the center, unwind your legs. Drop your knees to the right side. Stretch your right arm above your head, coming into just a comfortable fetal pose. Take a moment here with your eyes closed to set your intention, maybe your focus for tonight's practice. And if you'd like to, you could set your intention around how you want to feel in an hour. And then just be mindful to practice in a way that's really supportive of that intention. Then we'll come up to a cross-legged seated position. When you arrive at cross-legged seat, okay, sit nice and tall, bring your hands together at your heart center. Lift a little bit through the spine, relax your jaw. And I want to begin tonight's practice with a little bit of gratitude. Just thinking of gratitude, things that we're grateful for, can help to shift us from sort of a negative place to a really positive, more empowered place. So take a few deep breaths, and we'll take 3 breath cycles, and I want you just to bring into your mind 3 things that you're so grateful for. So just take a deep breath in and think of the first thing. Then take a deep breath in and thinking of the second thing. And then a deep breath in. And third thing you're grateful for. Then open your eyes, plant your palms, and come back to downward facing dog. So when you get to downward facing dog, I want to make sure the hands are about shoulder distance apart. Spread fingers out wide. Lift your seat high to the sky, making an inverted V shape. Relax the weight of your head and softly gaze towards the back of your mat right by your feet. Maybe you choose to bend your knees a little deeper. Maybe you feel like pedaling out your feet, swaying your hips a little side to side. But whatever you choose to do, really focus on your breathing. Every time you deeply breathe, your diaphragm is going to press against your vagus nerve, sending a signal to your nervous system that you're calm. When we hold our breath, it sends the opposite signal, like that we're feeling really stressed and we're feeling really strained. And from here, gaze to your hands and walk your feet to the top of your mat. Ragdoll pose is next, feet about hip width apart. When you fold forward, grab your opposite biceps. Knees can be bent deeply. Let your head hang heavy, sway a little side to side. Shaking off anything you've been carrying on your shoulders, any burdens that you've been carrying, anything that's weighing you down. Or maybe your mind has just been really busy. So just think about all that clutter just dropping out of your head. Then release your hands down and interlace your fingers behind your back. Take your knuckles up towards the ceiling, then over your head to stretch your shoulders. Open up your chest. And allow your hands to release down towards the ground and walk your feet together. When you inhale, come to a halfway lift, flat back, knees bent. Lengthen the back of your neck by gazing just in front of your big toes. Keeping fingertips touching the ground so that we stay a little more grounded tonight. Then bend into a forward folder uttanasana. Place your hands on your hips and with a flat back, rise up to standing. Your knees can be bent. Arms are going to stretch over your head for mountain pose. As you reach up, join your palms together. Exhale your hands to your heart, samasthitihi, standing at attention. Inhale, arms reach to the sky, mountain pose, siddhasana. When you exhale, fold forward with a flat back. Arms can sweep out or hands through your heart. When you inhale, come to a halfway lift, flat back. As you exhale, step back into a high plank position. Lower either halfway down or all the way, your choice. Inhales, upward facing or maybe cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Breathe in. Exhale it out. Then step to the top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, mountain pose, sweeping up. Exhale, fold forward, nice flat back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as you step back and lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Long inhale. Exhale it out. And then step to the top of your mat. Inhales, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain tadasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale. Breathing in. Let it out. One more, fill yourself up. Empty out. Then step or hop it forward. Inhales, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain, stretching up. Exhale, fold forward, lengthen out your breath. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Downward facing dog. Good, close your eyes and breathe. Feel your palm evenly pressing into your mat. Feel your head heavy, hips reaching a little higher, thighs pressing back a little more. Take a very deep breath in as you open your eyes. Exhale it out. And step or hop it forward. One more sunny. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, will fold. Inhale, mountain tadasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale's your halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward and downward facing dog. Breathe here in this down dog. And see if you can draw your heels down a little more towards the mat. Thigh bones press back. Hamstrings are pressing towards the back wall. Feel as if a hook is connected to your tailbone, is lifting your tailbone a little higher. Take one more deep breath in. Then once you've exhaled it out, you could step or hop forward. Inhale's halfway lift. Exhale will fold. Inhale is mountain pose, reach to the sky. Then sit back for chair pose, Utkatasana. Walk your feet together. Then as you squeeze your knees together, sit back and slide the weight towards your heels. As your arms extend upward, palms face in. Your fingers are reaching towards where the front wall and the ceiling connect. And then soften your face, improving the quality of your breath. Right? If your breath is super deep, then sink a little lower and explore your edge. Your edge is so different than the person next to you. Next exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. When you exhale, step back for chaturanga. Inhale's upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right leg to the sky in an inhale. Pause there for just a second. Drop your right hip down, level with your left hip. Okay, and then draw your low belly up and in. Press evenly through your palms. Now in your next exhalation, almost like you're moving in slow motion, step your right foot forward between your palms. Spin your back heel down. Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. And then Warrior One, front heel lining with back heel. Take a generous stance, really long, front thigh sinks. When you reach your arms up, be mindful not to press your rib cage forward and crunch your low back, but draw the rib cage in, lengthen your spine. And breathe. Relaxing the gripping of your toes. Eyes are fused at one steady point. Take one more deep breath in, reach up tall. When you exhale, release your hands down, step back into high plank. Pause here. In high plank, slide forward 2 inches, then lower to chaturanga. That really sets up your alignment. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high, keep your hips nice and level. Maybe even point your left toes, reach it long. Then moving in slow motion, step your foot forward on an exhale between your palms. Spin your back heel down, Warrior One. Draw your low belly in, supporting your low back. Feel the muscles of your legs engaging a little more. Almost feel like you're pushing your mat away with the soles of your feet while bending your front knee. Then find a little freedom and reach tall. Maybe breathe deeper. Sometimes it helps just to imagine a smile, even if it's not possible to smile, but just imagine. Yeah. As you hold the pose a little longer, just notice any place that's getting a little bit grippy or tense. Soften, breathe. One more inhale, reach up tall. When you exhale, plant your palms, step back into high plank. Slide forward 2 inches and then lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift your knees all the way off the mat. Downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here in down dog. Turn up the volume on your breath. Sounds like ocean waves, very calming for your mind, calming for your neighbor. It's a good way to get your neighbors to really be afraid of you, like in your neighborhood. Breathe really loud every time they're around. Then they'll be like, I don't mess with that chick. All right, take a deep breath in. When you've exhaled it out, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale to mountain pose, reach to the sky. Then when you exhale, sit back into chair pose, but take your arms back like airplane wings. And then sink a little lower. Relax your jaw, breathe deeply. Eyes are down towards big toes, so the back of your neck is long. And then as you let your torso come down, draw your low belly up a little. Squeeze your knees together a little more. If you want a little more, just a little more sculpting, press your feet into the ground and keep the knees bent. Inhale back to mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale's halfway lift. When you exhale, step back into high plank and lower. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, Warrior One. Exhale, Warrior Two. And then take a long stance. Engage your back leg first, root your back foot down, then bend your front knee. Good. Take a few deep breaths. And then squeeze your knee towards your pinky toe a little more. Feel your eyes focused over fingers. Relax your jaw. Next breath in, feel like you're breathing down to the bottoms of your feet. Now when you exhale, exhale out your day, just let it out. Do that with an open mouth. Breathe in, open mouth, exhale. One more here, breathe in. Now let out a sigh. Good, now take a deep breath in. When you exhale, release your hands down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale's upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg is high in your inhale. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale is warrior two. And then just peek down. If your knee is going past your ankle, scoot it out. Take a longer stance. Press through the entire back foot. Feel the leg muscles engage. Inner thigh stretches as knee moves a little more to the left. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears, then relax your shoulders down. Good, gaze over left fingers. And we'll do 3 of those cleansing, detoxifying breaths. So take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Deep breath in. Now sigh it out. Breathe in. Let out your stress. Now breathe in with a little smile. Exhale, release your hands down because you know you're getting out of the pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Head hangs heavy. Feel free to close your eyes. Tune out the world around you. Start to notice the internal world. Just notice how you're feeling, how you're breathing, the quality of your focus tonight in your mat without any judgment. Every day is different. Some days you come and you'll be like a laser, like, wow, you have so much strength, balance is perfect, super focused. Other days distracted, right? But we show up anyways. That's why the practice can be challenging, right? Is to show up on the days when it's hard. Good. So take your inhale and reach your right leg high. Exhale and step your right foot forward. Inhale's a warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your palm up to the sky, reverse warrior. Right hand is high. Left hand slides behind your back tonight. So as your left hand slides behind your back, gaze to your back foot. Now engage your back leg and see if you could bend your front knee a little deeper. And then first and foremost, notice the quality of your breath. Okay, maybe easing up if your breath is getting tight. Then when you inhale, come back up to a warrior two, and we'll move into extended side angle. Right elbow to thigh, or right hand's gonna reach down towards your mat and take your left arm over your head, palm down. Shoulders are stacked. Those of you that wanna go a little deeper, take your right hand to the outer edge of the right foot, and then squeeze your knee towards the inside of your right arm. And reaching. Strong through your legs, quality breath. Next, inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Prasarita is next. Turn your right foot towards the side of your mat. Place your hands on your hips. With a very flat back, let's fold forward. Feel free to bend your knees. Let's see if you can let your head just drop heavy. And then let your mind relax. Just let it drop. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel the hardest muscle to relax is the muscle of the mind, right? That muscle likes to work overtime, likes to wake us up in the middle of the night to worry, right? Likes to think really far ahead, likes to think about old stuff. It's a very well-conditioned muscle. It works really hard. So here, just let that muscle relax. Just let your head hang heavy. Just noticing like the simple nuances of the pose, where you feel in the stretch today. Okay. Then walk your hands out in front of you. Come to a flat back for just a moment, just to kind of get your, sort of evenness and steadiness back. Then place your hands on your hips. With a very flat back and a long inhale, come up to standing. Turn towards the front of your mat, plant your palms, and step back into a high plank position. When you get into high plank, bring your big toes together. Roll to your right hand as you sweep your left hand to the sky, side plank, Vashisthasana. Either stacking your feet or placing right knee down. In either version, maybe experiment with lifting your left leg up. And then notice your breath. Yeah, sometimes we just have to really be like, breathe, breathe, and that's where it comes in. Now release your left hand down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or maybe cobra. And then downward facing dog. We'll take 3 deep breaths. Feel free to exhale with an open mouth. Let it out. Ah. So yoga detoxifies by helping us sweat, especially hot yoga. And then when you breathe, it also helps to purify your lungs and get rid of carbon dioxide. Okay, but another thing that happens on our yoga mats is we detoxify the tension that we hold in our muscular tissue. Right, and we can emotionally detox as well, right? So we can kind of get rid of all of that emotional detox, right? All those sort of heavy situations and experiences, we can just kind of let that out. So the next inhale, take your left leg high. When you exhale, step your left foot forward. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale is warrior 2, there's no hurry. Reverse warrior, reach your left palm to the sky and then slide your right arm behind your back. And then try to bend your front knee a little deeper. Keep your back leg engaged. Relax your jaw. One more breath in. And then extended side angle, left elbow to thigh, right arm reaching over your head, palm face down. You could reach your left hand down towards the mat. Or really press your right foot, your back foot into the ground. Then imagine that you could stack your right hip on top of your left hip. You could, if you want, stack your right shoulder on top of your left shoulder. And then gaze where it's comfortable. If it feels like a strain, maybe adjust, look to the side. And play your edge a little bit so you stay really focused, really present. Next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Turn your left foot to the right side of your mat, prasarita, hands on the hips. Take a deep breath in, nice tall spine. Exhale, fold forward. This time, reach for the outsides of your calves, ankles, or your feet. Some of you may need to take a shorter stance. Your head's getting in the way. Right? So give yourself a little room to work a little deeper by walking feet closer. Then nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Right, say yes, nod your head yes. Yes to hugs. Nod your head no. No to drugs. Hugs, not drugs. There actually is a lot of research on how healing a hug is. I know there's some people in this room that love to give hugs. Right? They say that a human being needs something like 14 hugs a day to feel their happiness, right? So share happiness and maybe think to yourself in this moment, like with your head heavy, like one person you're going to give a hug. Don't even try to hug me after you're all sweaty. Just saying. Just saying. All right, walk your hands out in front of you. Have a nice flat back. And then bring your hands to your hips. And then when you're ready, come up on an inhale. All right, turn your right foot towards the back of your mat. Trikonasana triangle poses next. Arms extend out. Reach forward and down, placing the hand on shin or ankle. Engage your quads, the front of your thighs, lift them up a little. And then as you reach your left hand up high, let's take a half bind. Wrap your left arm behind your back. Lengthen through the sides of your neck. Keep breathing. If you were to imagine sliding your heels together, you'll notice that you get a, whoa, really engaged legs. Great for toning the legs. Now, if you'd like a little more, take the bottom hand and reach it towards that back wall. A little power triangle. Breathe there. I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just kidding. Inhale, come back up. Keep that left arm behind your back. Okay? And then turn your left foot to the front of your mat. So we're coming into horse pose. And in horse pose, we're gonna take cow face arms. Right hand goes to the nape of your neck. Slide your left fingers up, right hand down. Now bend both of your knees and sink down. So in horse pose, you want to create like a plie squat. So toes point away from center, and then you sink down into that deep squat. Draw your low belly in. Breathe. Maybe picking a focal point for your eyes, staying steady. Observing any reactivity to the pose without judging it. You're not a bad yogi if you're getting a little mad at the pose. Or maybe if you're starting to be like, my shoulders are tight, or creating a story. It's just a reaction. You don't have to do anything with it. You can just breathe, maybe try to let go of the thought. 2 more breaths. Sink a little lower. Then when you inhale, straighten your legs. Turn your feet to face towards that right side of the mat again, and we'll do Prasarita with cow face arms. So with Prasarita, cow face arms is fold forward, keeping the arms as they are, really stretching out your shoulders. Try not to force the pose. Like if if it's painful, please ease up a little bit on your shoulders. And then breathe into the places that are uncomfortable. So there's a difference between I'm uncomfortable because it's stretching, and then there's painful, right? Painful, sharp. If you feel like you're cutting off your circulation, you can always take a moment out of the pose and come back when you're ready. Then take your hands and release them down towards the ground. Walk your hands out in front of you, come to a nice flat back. Then take the right hand up towards the sky for a twist. Press the ground away with your left palm. Level out your pelvis by dropping your right hip slightly. And then take your low belly, lift it up and in. Release your right hand down. Place your hands on your hips. With a flat back, on an inhale, come up to standing. Turn your left foot to the front of the room, Trikonasana triangle pose. Arms extend down, reaching long, hips press back, and then place the hand on the shin, ankle. You could reach it down to the ground if you choose. If you're feeling any discomfort behind your ankle or behind your knee, gently bend your knee a little bit, engage your quadriceps more. Half bind, right arm behind your back. Then see if you can roll your shoulder up and back. Really open up the chest and shoulder. Left hand could float forward, but it doesn't have to. Rise up on an inhale. Get ready for another horse pose with cow face arms. Left hand to nape of neck. Turn your feet so that your big toes point away from each other, heels in. Nice long stance, and then bend your knees, sink down. And breathe. Using a towel, a strap, is a great idea. And then see if you can challenge yourself enough to stay present but not challenging yourself so much that you have to grit your teeth or hold your breath. Find the sweet spot. Next inhale, straighten your legs. Turn your feet to the side again for Prasarita. And one more Prasarita, so let's fold forward. Head's heavy. Stretching your shoulders. Do you want me to take a message? Just kidding. No, it's fine. Distractions happen in real life too, right? I mean, we can never like have perfect silence all the time. It happens. So it's a bummer when it happens in the middle of your wedding reception, but you know, other than that, it's fine. Release your hands down. Walk your hands out in front of you. Right hand stays on the ground, and take your left hand up to the sky. Your twist. So at this point of the practice, it's kind of easy to just sort of check out and just sort of like go through the motions, but be really purposeful. Like notice your feelings of the feet, legs, your trunk, feel the twist. And release your hand down. And walk your hands to the front of your mat, pivot on the balls of your feet, plant your palms, and step back into a high plank position. And now when you get to high plank position, I think if I'm not mistaken, we've got to do side plank. Yeah, left side, reach your right hand high. If you know that's your phone, it may be an emergency, right? And feel free to grab it. So go ahead and flex your feet, lift up, maybe reach up. Release your hand down and lower into Chaturanga. Take a deep breath in for an upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Take a deep breath in. Maybe sigh it out. Next inhale, the right leg is high. When you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted and take your right hand up to the sky. As you're reaching up through your right hand, press your mat away with your left palm. Try looking to the side wall versus up and just notice if this feels a little easier, if it feels like you can breathe. Then release your right hand down, step your back heel in closer and straighten your front leg. Pyramid pose, Parsvakonasana. As you straighten your front leg a little more, fold forward and draw your chin towards your chest. I invite you to let this be a little easier, so feel free to bend your knee. Okay. But if you can, square your hips. Really drop your head. Breathe into like the back side of your rib cage, the back side of your body. Then lift your torso up a little bit until your back is flat like a table. Stay up on your left fingers and take your right hand up to the sky. Revolving triangle pose. You can place a yoga block underneath your left hand. If you're a little more flexible, feel free to take your hand to the outside of the right foot, resting it on the mat there. Engage the front of your legs. Feel like you're trying to scissor your inner thighs together for stability, and the low belly lifts. Take one more really deep breath, and then release your right hand down. Okay? Bend your front knee, plant your palms. Now see if you can lift your right foot up off the mat and hover it there. I know, what are we doing here? Right foot, lift right foot, front foot up off the mat, not the back foot. Now slide your foot over towards the left side of the mat, and we're gonna move into half pigeon pose. My goodness, what is going on? And then take your left toes and scoot them back. And then ease onto your elbows. relax your gaze down and treat this like what we're doing, like a triangle pose, where we're going to be here for like 10 breaths. So really breathe Ujjayi breath. You can always open your mouth and exhale it out, detoxifying, cleansing breath. Something that would be really kind of relaxing for your mind is to put palm on top of palm and then rest your forehead on the back of your hands. And rise up onto your palms and make your way back to downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet. Next inhalation, take your left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps forward, coming into that low lunge. And then right hand stays on the ground. Take your left hand high for a twist. Mat presses away with the right palm. Notice if your left knee is pushing past your ankle, you could scoot the left foot forward. And then try, if you can, to press your right foot down and to maybe lift your right hip up a little higher as you slide your left thigh bone back a little. Release your hand down. Step back foot in closer, pyramid pose. Spin your back heel flat like a warrior one, and then begin to straighten your front leg a little more. And then fold forward. Tighter hamstrings, no big deal. Bend your knee quite a bit. You could even rest yoga blocks underneath your hands or place your hands on your shins. Chin to chest, breathing into the back of your body. So life is becoming faster and faster paced. We can get information at the touch of a button. We may have very strong biceps, very strong butt cheeks, right? But sometimes we need stronger nervous system, right? We need to be able to switch from fight and flight into resting and relaxation. So this pose is all about that. This is just about rest. Right? Let the head be heavy. Let your nervous system relax. Good. And then go ahead and bend your knee, plant your palms. See if you can float your left foot up. There's a lot of core strength. So you're gonna float your left foot up, slide your heel across, and then walk your right toes back as you move into half pigeon pose. And be mindful, like normally if you have half pigeon close heel to your body, please do that. If you normally put a block underneath your hip, go there. And then ease in. And make sure to breathe. Be really aware of your breath in this half pigeon. Half pigeon can be a great place to daydream, to plan out your week, or to fall asleep. But stay really present by breathing Ujjayi breath. And if you're not able to breathe deeply, just ease up a little bit. Then rise up onto your palms. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Then from downward facing dog, come down onto your elbows. And then come into a high plank position on your forearms, forearm plank pose. In forearm plank pose, draw your low belly up, push the mat away with your elbows. And then try, if you can, to bring your tailbone back into your body. Very good. Press back through your heels. Keep your legs a little more engaged. We'll be here for 3. Breathe 2. Take one more breath. Then lower your knees down, and then lower all the way onto your abdomen. Sweep your arms at your sides, palms face up, gaze to the right, and just rest. Melt. Melt like an ice cube on a hot summer day. And bring your chin onto your mat. Have your palms face down at your sides, arms long. Zip your legs together for locust pose, shalabhasana. And then on an inhalation, lift your chin, chest, arms up. And then as you lift your legs up, you may find it more comfortable to squeeze the legs together. It actually takes the pressure off the pubic bone. So if you're feeling discomfort, legs come together. Otherwise, legs apart. Then let's lift up a little more. Reach through the back of your head so your neck is long. Try to breathe. Your breath actually rocks your body a little bit as you fill up on an inhale and empty out on an exhale. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. And then exhale out. Good. Gazing to the opposite side. Close your eyes. Breathe here. My daughter's in there, and I thought she'd be done at 6. So there's the class upstairs. Becca's done at 6. Yeah. Oh, she's up there. And bring your chin back onto your mat. Bend your knees, reach back and grab your feet for both arms. And once you have your feet, if it's available, slide your hands down towards your ankles. Okay, then kick your feet into the palms of your hand to lift your chin, chest up. And as you kick your feet into your hands, lifting up into bow pose, arching the back, you could roll forward slightly and then maybe lift your thighs up. This pose not only is great for your back, but it's great for your shoulders and chest, stretching them. Breathing. Then let's release it all down. Okay, gaze to the right. Left cheek on the mat, arms long. Melt. Notice your heartbeat, your breath, all the things that we often don't notice because we're moving so quickly through our days. Our minds are so busy. Yoga has such a beautiful and magical way of slowing us down, opening our eyes, maybe even thinking about cleaning the lens a little bit so that we see more clearly the beauty that's all around us. Maybe the beauty of our unique gifts. And bring your chin back onto the mat, and we're going to do one more bow pose. So reach back for your feet. Keep your knees about hip width apart. And you can, if it's available, slide your hands to your ankle, and then kick your feet into your hands. As you kick it back, lift the chin, chest up. Really open wide across your collarbones. Good, and then maybe you kick a little harder. You could rock forward and back. If you had a toxic weekend, this is a really great pose to detoxify. Massages the inner organs. Oh, now I know what you were up to, Megan. Just kidding. Take one more deep breath and then release it all down. Gaze to the side. Arms at your sides, palms up. Place your hands under your shoulders. Press yourself back into a child's pose, the knees wide and the big toes together. Threading the needle pose. Lift the head just enough to slide your right arm underneath your left. Rest right shoulder, right temple on the mat. And then take a moment to close your eyes, breathing into your shoulder. And moving to the opposite side, lifting the right arm out. Left arm slides under. Closing eyes and just breathing. And slide your left arm out. Make your way back to downward facing dog, the very last one. Press thighs back. Get a little deeper stretch. Maybe even imagine pushing your palms into your mat and pushing your feet back like you're trying to stretch out your yoga mat out a lot longer and longer. Then step through to a seated position and bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees butterfly open and Baddha Konasana. Slide your heels in close to you. Hold on to the feet open. The feet will open a little bit like a book. So then inhale, you want to lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold forward, lead with your chest. Drop your gaze down. If you have a yoga block and if you're forward enough, feel free to place a yoga block underneath your forehead. Very grounding, very relaxing for your nervous system. And come back up. Take your legs long in front of you. Flex your feet. Paschimottanasana or seated forward fold. Stretch your arms over your head in an inhale. When you exhale, fold forward. Nice flat back. Feel free to bend your knees. So it's more important to have your back flat and long than it is to have your legs straight. Good. Then lean forward a little more. Breathe. Gaze down. Relax the head down. Forward folds are very cooling. Great poses to practice in the summertime when it's hot outside, it's hot at the yoga studio. Also an excellent pose if you have a hot temper. You can excuse yourself for a moment. I need to do a forward fold. Trust me, just kidding. So let's come on back up. Cross your ankles, come to a cross-legged seat. Yeah, just a comfortable cross-legged seat, and then fold forward. Fold forward in the Sukhasana forward fold, easy forward fold. If you want to bring your head down or place a block underneath your forehead. And come up to tall spine. And place your hands on the top of your knees and then close your eyes. Draw your chin in a little, like you're trying to make a slight double chin. Unhinge your jaw. Soften your tongue. Feel your eyes soft. Let your breath be easy now. Just a gentle in and out flow. Relaxing your jaw, a little space between the teeth. begin to ease your way onto your back for Shavasana, resting pose. And keep your eyes closed as you lie back. Arms are at your sides, your palms face up. Separate the feet out wide and let them drop open. Feel the weight of your body just sink down. If you want to imagine that your yoga mat is like a really soft feather bed and you're just sinking into it. Your breath is easy and calm. And we'll just take a few minutes at the end of class to just let go of all effort, a counterbalance to all the busyness of life by just being still. Begin to reawaken your body. Bringing movement to your fingers and wiggling your toes. With an inhale, stretch your arms above your head. Just take a wonderful long stretch. Bend your knees, sliding your heels to your seat. And roll to your right side into comfortable fetal pose. And come up to a cross-legged seated position. When you arrive there, bring your hands together at your heart center. And we're going to end today's practice by taking 3 deep breaths together. And as you breathe in, I want you to just think of 3 things that you're really grateful for on each cycle of breath, just bringing into your mind things that you feel very, very grateful for. So take a very deep breath in and out. Deep breath in. Exhale. One more deep breath in and exhale. When you inhale, draw your thumbs to your forehead. As you exhale, bowing forward with gratitude. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, thanks so much, you guys.